Yes, people, welcome back to another episode on that Gunners Talk, and I'm here with my boy KP. KP, bigger yourself, bigger yourself. And today we're here to talk about, just review the Southampton game and touch on a few topics and just really give our insight into the game. So first of all, KP, how are you doing tonight? How are you?
I'm good, not feeling uh the best in terms of like just getting a bit sick, but yeah, I'm feeling good. The international break is gonna be a bit boring, but it's nice to go into it on the back of a win. Do you know what I mean? How about you? How you feeling,
Now,
bro?
feeling great as always. Good to always talk football with KP as well. KP, before we even touch on the game, what I would like to say to everybody as they come into the channel, as they come into the stream, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Leave all your thoughts about the game, about Arsenal in general as we enter international break. Leave all your comments down below in the comment section. And yeah, we're gonna get straight into our thoughts. No, KP, we're talking about Southampton today. You were at the game, so I'm going to lead off with you. Give your thoughts and opinions about the game. Talk about the lineup first of all, and that first half from Arsenal, because I think there's a lot of things we could touch on about this game.
Yeah, I was at the game. I think the atmosphere was good, very good. Um, the lineup, I think obviously it was a necessity to rotate. I don't think I wouldn't have been mad if we started the same team, but I would have also been like, do we need to start the same team against Southampton at home, where there's players in the team that should be able to get some minutes? So it was nice to see the likes of Jesus, Sterling, Jorginho get some minutes, and obviously with the right back situation because of Timber and White. Obviously, you did mention it on the episode, the preview, that Partey could play right back.
Yeah.
But obviously we assumed that maybe Timber would have been fit. Obviously, clearly he's not. But I think in the first half, I think we dominated the ball, we dominated possession proceedings. Really, Southampton didn't come out of their half, but we didn't really look fluid, or we didn't look dangerous. Like we wasn't forcing the matter. We were almost just, if we just continue to keep possession, probe, the goal will happen. Like I think we started the game well. Like I was there. It was electric. We started the game well. A couple of openings, couple of chances that I think if we do take the game probably goes in a different way. Because I think one goal in that first half opens up the game for at least us. Because Southampton were defending quite well, but they were sitting there like a low block. And then obviously they would have probably been the most satisfied. I was kind of at halftime. I was like, oh, we need a few changes. We need more natural, more attacking players on the pitch, because it's like we had Jorginho, we had Rice, we had Partey. Even though obviously Partey being right back, we had 3 defensive midfielders for a bottom of the league team. Like, all due respect, Mikel, I understand obviously the defensive security and that, but we don't need that for this game. Like, I'd have loved to seen like a Ethan or a Leo get start, or even Marino if he was fit to start. Just one of those ones where you do the reverse, give them 60 minutes and take them off instead of giving them the minutes
30.
off the bench. But end of the day is what happened. I'm pretty sure Mikel got into the players. I think when we came out in the second half, we looked like we wanted to prove a point. There was like a chance from Jesus, I remember. But then as soon as Southampton scored that goal, like I think I saw your pre. I wasn't really worried because I'm like, I know we'll win the game. And now, it's more than anything, I know in Arsenal we're losing now, so the emphasis is going to be even more in terms of the urgency to want to score and force the chances.
Before you even get too far down into talking about the goals that came in the second half, I really want to touch on that first half. Like you said, I do want to ask you about the game, because you're probably watching it from a really good angle and a really good seats. And like you said, we were probing a lot and we were really penetrating and really creating a lot of chances. I thought Bukayo Saka looked electric. He started off the game really, really well, beating his man really well. Raheem Sterling, he looked like he was trying a bit too hard. His work rate was there, the energy was there, the impetus was there. He just lacked that little bit of end product and decision making in the final third. And like you said, I agree with you that we didn't really need that much defensive solidity against Southampton, especially how they started the game, because we talked about it in the preview as well. I thought that they play a brand of football where they look to implement their style of play. They want to play from the back. And I think Arsenal created a lot of chances, even in the first half, winning the ball back in good areas. Talk to me a little bit more about that work rate you've seen at the stadium, and how much of an effect does it have on players like that?
Yeah, I think the work rate was good from the team. Like even in the first half, despite the attacking quality, I think we pressed, because Southampton were playing out the back in every single possession. Like they knew when they went long that it was probably going to end up with Arsenal's ball, so they were trying to build up. And there were some moments they did build up well, but Arsenal won the ball back high a lot. Obviously, Havertz, Jesus in the first half, Saka, Declan Rice, and then the second half, obviously Saka, Marino, Martinelli. Like it's lovely to see our team knowing that we are hungry, knowing that we know how to press as well. Like it's not just guys just committed and running. Like there's a thoughtful nature to it. So yeah, it was good. I think it was just sad that we couldn't capitalize on a lot of the chances and openings we made from our press.
Because we were creating a lot of chances, like you said, and going into halftime but no, we could touch on the goals as well. I think, like you said, I agree with you 100% in terms that I wanted Nwaneri to come off the bench, because I think, especially when we seen Nwaneri against Leicester, I think that's exactly what that game needed. No, I mean, it went a little bit differently just after halftime when Southampton got their goal, but I think from you see that first half, I would have brought Nwaneri in, because even before they scored their goal, I think Nwaneri would take that game by the scruff of the neck. We've seen him do it before with Arsenal, even in crucial moments. So we can't come on here and say, oh, it's a big moment, it's a pressurized moment. No, we've seen Nwaneri step up in those moments already for the Arsenal at such a young age and look to carry the ball and look to create. And I think that would have probably opened up a little bit more for probably the likes of Jesus, maybe a Havertz, depending on whoever he took off to bring Nwaneri on. But touch on that Southampton goal, because when that goal goes in, you say you weren't worried. I wasn't really worried, but it was more just like, that's what you get when you don't take your chances when you're on top. So talk to me. You were at the game.
Like it was
as well.
First of all, it wasn't a foul on Sterling. It was a good finish from Archer. I think Saliba should have done better to get a bit closer to him, put a bit more pressure on him, because he had enough. He had all the time in the world to think about what he's going to do, fashion the opportunity, and I think Saliba did get a nick on the ball, which probably helped take it past Raya. But more overall, I feel like I'm more disappointed in our inability to keep clean sheets at home in the Premier League, especially against these kind of opposition. Obviously, it happens. You have to understand there are two teams playing. Like these teams have professional players. They can play football. Arsenal can't stop teams having one shot on target for the whole game. But that wasn't their goal. Wasn't the only chance they had. They hit the bar a couple of times. They had a few good strikes and good openings. Times where that Gibbling done Calafiori a few times down the right. It was more like for a game where we dominated so much. I'm pretty sure if we go to the stats, like we have a lot of possession, a lot of chances. We shouldn't be conceding first. And like if you concede a goal, you concede a goal. If it's a consolation goal at the end of the game, but a goal like from Leicester last week, 2 goals in the beginning of the half. This game, 1 goal at the beginning of the second half. It's like, are you guys coming out and not concentrating? Obviously, the other team are going to come out a bit more pumped, but are we not coming out like with that same emphasis? Like it's something that I'm not going to get into much detail today. It's just to underline and just mention, because ultimately our home form is what cost us the league last season. West Ham, Aston Villa, Fulham, Tottenham. Not the draws. When you go away from home and you don't lose, I don't think you have a right to want to win every game away, but you got to win your home games, man. We got to make this Emirates feel like, hey, man, we're going to this ground. We're not getting no points today, man. Like we need to develop that. But just on that. What about you? What did you think about the goal?
To be honest, like I said, I agree with you 100%. Did not think it was a foul on Sterling. I said that in my own review on the channel. Did not think it was a foul. I think, especially when Sterling has been into the game for a while. It's not like Sterling just came on. He was in the game. He knows the intensity of the game. You have to be stronger there. You take the ball in that position. You face up. You get your ball behind between the man and the person, and you go forward. You look to drive forward and really win the foul if you want to foul. Win the foul. Earn the foul if you're gonna get it. I don't think he did that there. I think he should have been a bit stronger there and should have been a bit more demanding and a little bit more forward thinking with the ball instead of just looking for the foul, because he had space.
I think looking at him, it ties into what I'm pretty sure we talked about. It's just decision making. Like when I think he done well it was like a 50-50 ball. He done well to win it, but I think then Havertz was showing in the gaps. It's like that makes sense. If he knew that he was going to pass the ball, or if he knew he was going to dribble, you would have committed to the action. Or if you knew you were going to hold the ball, try to draw a foul, you would have committed to the action.
And I want to touch on that too, KP, because you touched on the home form being an issue. And it is kind of an issue, especially when you see our away form has been so immaculate for especially just 2024 and just over last season to this season in general. it begs the question as to what next step do we have to take to win the Premier League title, and that's the title of this video: Are Arsenal Premier League title favorites? Until we can put that home form right and be consistent in terms of getting 3 points after 3 points after 3 points, I think that goes a long way. However, I do want to touch on the fact that rotation, to be honest, has to be key. And when the guys coming in like Sterling and Jesus, I'm not grilling them, but they have, even though they haven't had those minutes, they have to come in and the level cannot drop significantly. Against Villa, when you saw Smith Rowe came in, the level dropped. Against Fulham, the level dropped. So it's not that we were bad in those games where we dropped points, especially last year. It's just that moments. Jorginho came in against Tottenham, we were winning that game. A mistake from off the bench with a player like Jorginho gives away the ball. It's 2-2. That's the points right there. I think it just needs a little bit more when the guys do come in, like the impact players who have proven themselves over the course of 2 seasons to show that their quality to come into this team. I just need to think that we need to have that consistency straight throughout the team. It has to be like a mental focus, especially when you talk about coming up from halftime.
But that's why, like, as expected, when you make changes and there's obviously unwarranted changes, like Timber was a very, very big key in how we played in the beginning of Tuesday and especially last week and all season. So not having him and having Partey using a natural right back, that's going to change our attack, especially where Odegaard's already out of the team.
Yes.
Obviously, we've just to talk about Sterling and Jesus. I both think they tried. I think they had good elements, both of them in the game. They had a lot of frustrating elements. They look like players that just aren't that level of sharpness, that aren't in tune with the team. And to go to your point, because I agree, we need consistency throughout the whole team, including our bench players. But at the same time, players that are on the bench are not playing enough minutes. So you can see when Martinelli and Trossard come on, just the sharpness, the verve, the fire that they're playing with, the rhythm. And you look at Jesus and Sterling, it's like they're
on the peripheral right now, so they're trying.
And I feel like especially with Jesus, they're like he's trying to really look at him. He was brought to be Arsenal number 9. Now Kai Havertz is there banging the goals. I know what if I was a striker, my pride would I don't want to just be here a bit part player. Like I want to also contribute as well. I want to also be making Mikel think about, is it just clean straight Havertz or do you want to think about me? So he has a bit of that. He just needs to kind of simplify his game, calm down, just make smart decisions. The goals will come and then naturally all the flair and the skill and the real Jesus will come. Same thing with Sterling. Like you just need to settle into the team. When because he's done well, he was beating his man a lot, but it's just when you get to the box, make that cross or cut in, make that shot. Don't just delay and drive into people and dribble into people all the time. Like, come on, man.
He had that when he rounded the goalkeeper. Sterling could have got a penalty or could have scored the goal when he rounded the goalkeeper. Then he had another one where he almost runs it off. I always say that. I think I said it. I think the main thing I said in my video I made about Sterling, I said, just got to be decisive. Like, if you're going to shoot. If you're going to cross. If you're going to dribble. But don't do an action and then you're trying to think about what do I do now, and then in that time of thinking you lose the ball because it's frustrating. But I give them a pass in the sense of, one, I think you have to support your players in the sense of, especially when players are not playing well in form. We saw how the rhetoric around Martinelli, which we'll get into, was like you just got to put your hands around him, because these guys do see our content, like we like it or not like it. Like, so it's like, I'm pretty sure Jay-Z was to watch with all the narrative coming out, Arsenal fans saying he should sell him and this guy's done, he's finished. Him to see one fan saying, I believe in you, like I think you'll get back there, just keep trying, don't be too discouraged. Like, you never know, man. But like, that's what it is. I think what Mikel needs to do is just, he needs to make sure that these second string players are playing enough minutes in a 3-game week, like at least a 90 minutes somewhere, so they are getting rhythm. Like, it's unfair to ask them to just come in and then to just be sharp straight away without having the games in it. But moving on from when you talk about impact players, I do want to lead into the second half, like you said, when Southampton get their goal and then we instantly hit back. We could talk about Kai Havertz and then we could transition into more of the subs that came on, because the goal did happen before the subs. First of all, great winning back the ball. We touched on it. We were winning the ball back in really good areas. Southampton made a mistake trying to play out. Saka wins it beautifully, plays into Kai Havertz. And like you talk about Sterling, decisiveness is key, especially in the final third. You saw it with Kai Havertz. We didn't really see that from Kai Havertz before. Something he's honestly developed. That cut inside and bang, one spin off the post. That's a goal. Something, to be honest, that a lot of people have not seen from Kai Havertz, shooting from outside the box and with power and with confidence, and especially with the precision to score a goal. Talk about Kai Havertz and that goal, and you could touch on his overall performance if you like.
Yeah, I think he had an excellent performance. Obviously, even when he played midfield, we all know it's not like his ideal, his most utilized position, but with the way he's playing, the confidence he's showing, I think he still had a good performance in there. And obviously, once he went into a strike, you could just see the difference in a player that is informed, that is confident, that is in his groove. And I feel like he showed an element of leadership, an element of, nah, man, like, I believe I can get us the goal. I believe I can get us into the game. And fam, as soon as Saka gave him that ball, I was like, just take a touch inside, shoot. And when he took that touch inside, I'm like, smack it. As soon as he smacked it, caught it so sweetly, the ball went in so fast. I was like, wow. And it was, I just saying, I think that was his best goal in the Arsenal shirt. I think that was his, I think his performances are just getting better and better each game. And we've probably been saying this since the start of this calendar year. So it's refreshing to see him, take that ownership. Like, that strike had some real power, some real determination. Then on top of that, the celebration. It was a quick fist pump to the fans, run back. Hey, you still got a job to do. If we're not winning yet, I'm not satisfied. I've seen other Arsenal players at times where we were drawing and guys are knee sliding or scorpion kicking. Not shout out to Giroud, but I'm saying, like, where I like this. We're in the title race. There was still about 30 minutes or so in the game, 25. Like, we can still get the win in this game, and I like that. Like, I think Kai Havertz epitomizes Arsenal. Or at least he's one of the players that epitomizes Arsenal and what us fans would love our players to represent. That fight, that grit, that determination, that never say die attitude, that willingness to want to score. Just, what I'm saying? Like, it was good to see. What about you? What do you think about his goal?
I was about to agree with you. I was about to say it was in his overall performance, even just watching it from home. So especially, you saw it in the game, but watching it from home, Kai Havertz was everywhere. Even people that don't even see the work rate of Kai Havertz, you could not miss his work rate. Everywhere he was winning. I remember there was one time at the end of the game, he wins the ball back.
The 91st minute, he flicked it over someone's head. Yeah, then he did. He
working hard, tirelessly, gets into the tackle. And he said it before going into the game, a quote. He said he was never the type of player to like to win duels, but no, you can see it. Even I remember the Newcastle game last season up at Tyneside. He was in every single tackle. He was putting in the effort. And since then, from then on out, you can always credit Kai Havertz for work rate. And since he's putting the ball into the back of the net and that confidence has grown. And it's a big thing in football. The players have put an arm around him. From the time he got that first penalty, Mikel trusted him, kept him in the team. And even when fans didn't like it or fans didn't like how he was performing, Mikel trusted him, put the arm around him. And once those goals kept going in, and once we found a position, Kai Havertz has been absolutely brilliant. To be honest, if it wasn't for Bukayo Saka, would have been my man of the match. Crucial goal, great performance. And I thought Kai Havertz overall was really, really sharp, man.
Let's segue into that, Saka, because I think we just need to, before we go, just have a very conversation about this guy, man. Like, watching him live. First of all, Saka's a world-class player, man. Like, one of the best players in the world. I'm not saying, like, I know Texas comment saying he might be the best player in the world right now in form, but I think Saka doesn't lose. Like, it's weird. Saka doesn't lose the ball. He doesn't make a bad decision on the ball. Like, I'm watching him. If it's to face up his man and take him on, he does it. Of course, you're not always gonna beat your man every time or win the ball every time. But if it's to cross the ball, he does it. If it's to just keep the ball rotating, he does it. If it's to win a foul, well, not like to win a foul, he knows how to use his body. He does it. I watched that in that game. Every time Saka got the ball, they sent a second man over, and then there was a third man screening just in case he does beat them. There was a time where he beat like two guys, and the third guy, I'm watching it every possession, obviously, which is why I was frustrated. I was like, why don't you use the left-hand side more? They're not double teaming on Sterling, and then that maybe frees Saka up for more. But obviously, Saka's our main creator, especially with Odegaard gone, so we need to get him the ball, which is why it's crazy that he still operates, and he's been operating like this for the last 2-3 years, with being double teamed in every game, in every situation, bar maybe when we're playing against like Man City or something where you're going more 1v1. Like, it's crazy. And he still comes out 2 assists, 1 goal, excellent performance again. Like that cross for Martinelli's goal was perfect. Like, perfect. And it's even the pass that he played for Havertz. Like, you got the ball straight away, played him in. There wasn't no delay, there wasn't no dribble, there wasn't no, I need to think about what I'm going to do. It's, I want the ball, Havertz is there, boom. And that's the thing I was talking about in terms of just decision making, intent, and what you want to do in comparison to some other players that they just need to pick up, because that split second of just making that decision doesn't allow a team to drop into their shape, doesn't allow a defender to recover his body position, and that gives you the momentum, especially with your players in position. But shout out to Saka, man. Like, he's actually elite. What's that? 7 or 8 assists now in the league. what, two
And like
two
10
goals
goal
now.
contributions in 10 games in all
I'm saying,
competitions.
I think he's made them.
What player would have 10 goals, 10 goal comps in 10 games and go under the radar and still not be respected? Leading
Like,
the assist charts in the Premier League, leading the creation charts in the Premier League, leading all types of metrics and stats. Even people talk about just from corners. He leads the league with the most chances created from open play.
but even if you're talking corners, like
It's
the
hard to
delivery,
create from corners
the
too.
delivery is amazing. Like, I'm not even trying to glaze or anything. Like, if you just watch, like, I was watching some of that. I'm like, look at the amount of times he's the same type of whip, penalty spot or 6-yard box. Sweet for Gabriel to header it in. Like, yeah, like you have to understand that like these things are not easy, man. Like, the guy is so consistent, and he's only 23. Like, I think because maybe he's been around for like this is like fifth or sixth season now. He's like, you kind of get used to him. Even as Arsenal fans, you kind of get used to him. That you forget how young this guy is. Like, none of our favorite players or these players, your Salahs, your De Bruyne's, your whoever you want to name, at 23 years old. With all due respect, they were nobodies. Like, they were still finding their feet in the water. Whilst this guy has already established himself as one of the best players in the world without even being nowhere near his prime years. Which is why, like, I think ultimately I don't mind the outside world not appreciating it, because ultimately, as I say, the undeniable becomes undeniable. The more that Arsenal do his thing, the more that Arsenal progress, the more that Masaka progresses and we win our league. There's only so much where the haters now will be known haters, or you know what I'm saying. So shout out to him, man. That guy he's real good stuff. And the guy's I was gonna swear that the guy is so strong. Like,
I was just
he's
about to
so
say,
strong.
Bro, I remember he was holding off like three. Bro, he was holding off players like one had to push it. I'm like, wow, brother, how strong is this guy?
Like, I'm telling you, like, it's why, like,
he looks small on TV.
It's why I said last year I wish because I feel like Saka should have won our Player of the Season last year, and I want to make sure. Well, I think this year he needs to win it, because I think he's been Arsenal's, like, it's like from that. I remember that it came up on my TL, that post where he's like, Arsenal fans, you deserve more. I think it was after that little period we had where we were just losing every game, and it's nice now to just see him. It's nice now to just see him like just become this mature player when he wears the armband as well. It's like I just want to give him a big shout out, because the guy is putting up performances that are crazy. Like, his base level of performance is 7 out of 10. Like, to where some other players getting a 7 out of 10 is a very good game for them.
A very good game, yeah.
Like, it's not normal what we're seeing. So it's like, before eventually this guy's a bit older now, and even if he becomes a better player, like when we remember the younger Saka, when this guy was doing madnesses at this age, we gotta appreciate that guy, man, because time goes. By the time you know it, this guy will be 29, and it'll be like, Jesus, what the years. So obviously, when he's 29, how old am I gonna be? So
yeah. Don't even comment about it, bro. When he's 29, I'll be 29. So I'll just leave that. I'll just leave that right there.
Yeah, good.
I just leave that right there.
But yeah, just like ultimately, like, I think it was just despite the home, the way we play at home in terms of just conceding too many chances as well as goals. Yeah. It's understandable though, because when you're at home, you're a bit more expected to be a bit more expansive. When we go away, we have more of a job to do. Get in, get out, be defensively sound. But when you're at home, you have a bit more of the ball. The crowd is on you. You have a bit more expectation to play, a bit more attacking. So that leaves yourself a bit more vulnerable as well. But I just want us to stop making chances. Shout out to Pressure London. That's my sister. Saka is the best of
big up, always. I do want to touch on another player. Martinelli came in off the bench, scored another crucial goal. Thanks, Calafiori came in at left back. I've seen this 4 goals and assists in 3 Premier League games, I think it is. So Martinelli has found his form. You've been a big advocate for Martinelli, KP. So you've been talking about even when I've said Trossard must come in and start, I'm still an advocate of Trossard having some space in his team, because I think Trossard brings so much to this team. Something to be honest, I think goes underappreciated. The skill and the consistency as well for Trossard, and the finishing from Trossard has been absolutely outstanding. But I want to touch on Martinelli. Like I said, 4 goals and assists in the last 3 Premier League games. He's finding his feet again, and I think Martinelli is getting his groove back. Like Pressure London said, he's getting his groove back. Talk to me about Martinelli.
Hey, man, that's my boy, man. That's my boy. Obviously, him and Saka are my boys. Those are my 2 guys, favorite players in the team. Havertz is there now, but yeah, Nelly, man. As I said, it's just players like Martinelli, like any footballer, but especially Martinelli, because he's not he's not a high touch player. He's not obviously not creative, but he's not like a playmaker or a point guard. He's more a shooting guard. Like he's the guy that should be, scoring the goals and getting at the end of chances. And I think last season we weren't utilizing Martinelli enough for his skill set and play style to help him, and then by default helping the team. In it, I think that this year, especially once Calafiori's coming back into will come into left back, and we have more of a balance of a natural left footer outside him that can overlap, that can give him the passes in more of a natural way because they open up their body into the outside. I think we're seeing Martinelli come to his own, and obviously with the addition of Mikel Merino as well into that left hand side as well in that pocket, it can only benefit it. I'm happy that he's got his goal back. He's got it back into the goals and the output, because you can see just in, I think that his cameo on Saturday was a good cameo. Like I won't say it was like outstanding. There's still levels for everyone in this team to go to, but you can see there's a difference in how he's playing compared to the first couple of games where he was making a lot of mistakes, kind of rushing a lot of decisions. He was, do you know what I mean? Now things are a bit more natural. There was one pass he played to Calafiori underlap outside the boot. It's like one lovely weighted pass. I was like, you can just tell naturally. Like even the intent for the run, kept himself on side, right? Like there's just a bit more willingness. Like even at then, he had to stretch for that ball, get his left foot on it, get it on target, finish it. Like it's you got to shout him out, man. And you have to realize, I think I said it at the time, these guys are young players. Not everyone has a linear way of progressing, a linear way of moving, like being well. Like, and if there's external factors that can play, like Saka is better than Martinelli, that's fine to say. It doesn't mean that Martinelli isn't or can't also be class or world class as well. It's just that he needs to be utilized differently. Martinelli will probably score more goals than Saka this season if he gets the chances, but doesn't, like, Saka probably might have the better season. It's just utilize your players that ultimately help the team to win. I think that's how I see it, man.
I agree with you, KP, but I do want to touch on that, something you touched on. You talk about decisiveness, and I take it back to what we talk about with Sterling and Jesus. I think the credit you can give to Martinelli, even when he was going through that patch where he wasn't putting the ball in the back of the net, it always looked like he knew what he wanted to do. The intent was always there. We see it against City, he had a chance one-on-one, didn't get to put it in the back of the net. And we've seen with a few chances, even in the back end of last season, where that Thierry Henry-esque finish into the bottom corner that you like to big up all the time. That's his trademark finish. And sometimes it will come off, sometimes it won't. But you can see he's a confidence player. He gets his head down, he beats a man. He's really good at putting in a crossing and getting that end product, like you said. And I think he's a really, really good player. And like you said, if we keep unlocking that and we keep probing at that, with Mikel Merino coming in and working that pocket as well as Calafiori taking all of that left-hand spot, who I think, to be honest, helps out this team so much in just ball progression, tackling and aggression, giving that left-hand side the life it needed that we, to be honest, missed over the last couple of seasons, and really just trying to find out what happens with that left-hand side. I think that is unlocking Martinelli, and I'm glad to see that the young players getting fruits from it, because like I said, he has that X factor. And like you've been bigging up, I have to give you your credit. You have been bigging him up. You have been the one staying by him for months and months and months, even through the bad patches of form. So big up to Martinelli as well.
And it's just one of those ones where I think it should never go unnoticed, unsaid. Like, Saka and Martinelli do a defensive shift that no big team and big wingers in Europe does. And it's not just in terms of just the will to want to do it. It's the tactical understanding of how we're going to press, when to cover, how to cover. Like, it's probably hard on them, but it's definitely like something that I feel like should never go under radar. Just say, oh, it's a given to just, to work hard or to, to drop back, because the work that sometimes what Martinelli has done, like, I think for me is enough for me to not to give him a chance when he's not in form and attack, because one, that's going to be physically tired, but two, that's also part of us winning. Like, I think people forget, like, that a one recovery tackle for Martinelli to stop a counter attack helps us to win. Yeah, that's not the goal in his role, but that's also something that he's doing to help the team. So it's the same thing with Saka. It's like, you have to appreciate these guys, man, and just love them. Same thing, like, because once players feel loved and once they get back, I always say footballers, confidence is the best thing. Once everyone's confident, no one's thinking about anything. You're just playing. Once some people are not confident, then you're in your head a lot about things. Something as little as your first touch can be dead, because I'm saying it's not natural. But when you're natural, everything just comes as flows like water. Do you know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, 1,000%.
Long may it continue, man. But good win. Obviously, Liverpool are top of the league, but the league position doesn't really matter at this point in the stage in the title, as long as you're in there. And we're unbeaten this season so far, which is we
actually have the longest unbeaten streak in Europe right now, alongside Juventus at 14 games. So we're looking really formidable, to be honest, and we have to keep that. I mean, obviously international break right now, but when we come back from international break, we have Bournemouth away as the first fixture. I think that's the late kickoff. And we have Champions League at home against Shakhtar, and then we back at home against Liverpool. That's not bad fixtures to start off compared to the fixtures we had last international break. We came back against Spurs, then we had City, then we had Champions League as well. So talk to me. We just want to touch on those games slightly. You don't have to really go in depth.
Yeah, just wait, what was the Champions League game again?
Shakhtar. We should be beating Shakhtar, honestly.
Is that home or away?
Home too, so yeah, should be beating
yeah.
Shakhtar.
We should be handling our business, man. Like all three games. No disrespect to Liverpool, they're a good team, and I think that'll be a very good game, and it won't be easy. But like similar to like the PSG game, I think we need to little boy. They need to come to Emirates, and they need to be little boyed. Pause.
Mm-hmm. Now I think, like you said, we talked about it. We think we need to make the Emirates formidable if we're gonna bring home the trophy this year, because that's something we could rely on. Yes, we know we have a good defense. Yes, we know we go away from home and our defense travels really, really well. But as long as we have the Emirates as our strong backbone, and I think, to be honest, the biggest thing about it is the atmosphere. That atmosphere for Liverpool at home last season was absolutely outstanding. If we could probably recreate that atmosphere again for Liverpool at home this year, Champions League as well this year, we're gonna go a long way, man. No doubt about it.
And plus, obviously, touch wood, no one gets injured in this international break. Obviously, we've seen Havertz has pulled out because of the knee knock. I think it's probably they just don't need to stress him out in this international break. And I think, given the fact that Odegaard got injured, because I think you have to also remember, Odegaard. What game did we play? Remember the Brighton game? Odegaard got kicked and he was definitely injured in that game. And then he's gone to that international break, and obviously the tap injury he got was way different. Obviously that was a tackle, but your body's already probably not 100%, and then obviously you've gone now. And then that's happened, didn't it? Obviously, luck. So it's like now with the Havertz stuff, you have a little bit of a knock. Nah, we're not trying to. You could probably play through it. No. Just stay at home, relax, go. Speak with family.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
And so so just as long as no one comes back injured, and maybe we get closer news on Odegaard, Zinchenko, Timber White might be refreshed and back by that time, and we have a full squad or near enough a full squad going into like this next running, because I think after the Liverpool game there is some tough games in there. Like, I think there's Newcastle away, there's Chelsea away, there's Inter Milan away at Champions League or something like that. So we have some games, but those 3 games you mentioned, I expect 3 good performances, 3 points, some goals, and we move, man. We move. What about you? What do you expect?
Now, I expect the same thing, especially against Bournemouth away. No, Bournemouth have been proving to be a difficult task for people, even though sometimes they haven't gotten the performances that they deserve. I think Bournemouth do play a good brand of football. I like Areola as a manager. I think the Evan Nilsson guy they signed, he hasn't been putting the ball in the back of the net, but his first goal went in, and we know these guys can be confidence players, like you said. So 1 goal goes in, it could be the model for 4, and you know what I mean? It could happen for him. They have good players like Kluivert as well, like Tavernier. They have good players. So, but I think Arsenal, like I said, the defense travels well away from home, and I think I'm more confident about us beating those teams away from home.
Yeah, we should be sorting these men out, man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend too long touching.
They can have all the players in the world, man. Hey, I'm not even trying to be arrogant. I'm not worried about Bournemouth away from home. And hey, if I have to eat my words or someone clip me for this, cool, but I'll be more disappointed in Arsenal not handling their business than me being so confident. Should be sorting them out. But yeah, man, it's definitely been a pleasure.
I'm about to close it out right now. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. The likes and the comments help so much. We're both on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so all the support means so much to us.
And also, you guys check out our content. We make a lot of player analysis videos and player profile videos. They're quite engaging and interesting to watch. So just go through our content, check some of the videos out, and turn on the post notifications to see these lovely fellas make some content about Arsenal. You feel?
No doubt about it. Like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, it goes so far to the channel. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe button. If you're joining from KP's channel, subscribe up, like up the content as well. And if you're joining from my channel, go over to KP's channel and show some love. KP, like I said, makes really, really good player analysis content, really engaging content. So join the family for both of us. And if you like anything related to Arsenal, join the family. No doubt about it.
Drop that like and comment.
Anything you want to say to close out, KP?
If anyone's coming from Cape Has to Gunner Street, drop a comment on this video. Say that you've come from Cape Has. Drop a subscribe. You'll like Steph's content, maybe even better than mine. So, hey, to be honest with you,
don't say that, man. Don't say that, man. Vice versa.
just yeah, we'll be jumping on live later on this week. So yeah, just keep posted. So when you'll be here again. And for everyone that's just viewing right now, hope you guys have a lovely sleep. I know you guys are probably laying in bed, relaxed, tired, I'm joking. Everyone, drop a like, subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next live. Yeah, appreciate it for the support.
See you guys later.